Yeah, hello there and welcome back, and let us continue with our lesson over here. And in this lesson, let's go and learn about the new modifier or the new class modifier with the dart3 that will be of the sealed class over here. So let's go and create the new folder over here, and let's call this one as sealed sealed. And let's go and add a new file that will be of a sealed sealed underscore animal.dart file. So once we have this particular file, let's go and create the class over here. So let's just create the normal class first of all. So we'll create the class of, let's say, sealed sealed animal over here. And once we have a class over here, we can just go and add some function or the method over here that will be of the can eat over here. And let's go and have this particular function of the method, and let's just go and print something over here, and let's just say sealed animal can eat over here. So let's just print out this one over here. This is what we usually do with the normal class, but now we can add a new modifier over here that will be of the sealed over here. And once we add this particular file, so if you go down over here, and let's go and create the another class over here that will be of the cat. Let's say a cat, and we'll extend it from this sealed animal over here. And let me just copy this one from here, and let's go and add the over here that will be of the, let's say, a dog. And let's go and also add the fish over here. And once we have this particular class, which is cat, dog, and the fish, you can see we have extended it from the animal over here, or the sealed animal. So if you try to implement it, you can still implement it, and you can just go and override the missing functionality. So now you can still use that, but you need to note that this particular implements and the extend keyword is only available within this particular library over here. So if you go to the let's go to the main file, and if I try to go and copy this function from here, or the class from here, and if I try to implement that one over here, let's say this is of the class over here. And now if I try to implement, or let's try to import this one over here, you will get an error saying that the class sealed animal can't be extended, implemented, or mixed in outside of its library because it's a sealed class. So that's the good point over here. So let's just add the comment over here, and let's try to add in a multiple line comment over here. So this basically is not allowed over here, right? So this is not allowed, and what we can do is we can only implement or extend within this particular same class, or the same package, or the same library over here. So this sealed animal.dart file, you can consider it as a library over here. And once we are out of this, we are not able to extend or implement. This completely prevents the subtyping of our sealed class over here. So let me just go and add some comment over here. So we'll just follow that particular comment over here. And now once we have added this particular comment, so let's see to create the non-enumerable type set of the subtypes, use the sealed modifier. So we can see that enumerable set of subtypes. So we can create the subtype over here. That is what we are creating. Cat, dog, and the fish is the subtype, or we can create the enumerable subtype for our sealed animal over here, or the sealed class over here. And this allows you to create a switch over those subtype. So for that, what we'll do over here is let's go to the main file over here, and now we can go to the main, and let's create the new function over here, and we'll use the return type. Let's say this will return us the type of the string, and what we can say is that the or we'll just say a name. So let's say get the C or the obj, the object name over here, and we'll just pass in the sealed class that will be of the sealed animal over here, that will be of the let's say a type, let's say typ type over here. And once we have that, let's go and return from here. We are going to return the switch over here, and with this switch we'll just pass in the what we have is the type over here. And now what we can do over here is you can see that the sealed animal is not exhaustively matched, right? So we have to exhaustively match that particular switch case over here. So for that we can have the cat over here. So this is one of the case, and once this is cat, we'll just go and return the this each cat, or let's say obj is the cat object. And now we can do the same thing for our rest of this. So let's go and add over here, here, and I guess we have just of a 3 over here. So I guess we just have a 3 subtype over here. And let's go back over here, and we just need to add a comma, and then let's add the comma over here. So this will be of the let's say our dog over here, and then we have the FIS edge over here, fish. So we have all of those. So let's just put the break over there, and now you can see that we don't get the error. But if you try to remove one of those, you will get a compile time error. So you have the compile time safe over here, which is that the sealed animal is not exhaustively matched by the switch case, since it doesn't match the fish. So now you can see we get the compile time safety over here. If you want to do the enumeration on this particular the subtype over here, if you go over here and if you read over here, so create the switch over those subtype that is statically ensured to be exhaustive. So you can see that we can create the enumerable set of the subtype over here. And now you can see that the compiler is aware of any possible direct subtype, because they can only exist in this particular one of the library. And this allows the compiler to alert you when a switch does not exhaustively handle all of the possible subtypes in this particular case over here. So that's pretty cool. So if the switch case doesn't handle exhaustively all of these possible subtype with each our 1, 2, 3 subtype that we have, and then you'll get a compile time error. So it will give you an error once you don't fulfill all of the switch case with the possible subtype over here. And once you mean the subtype, it means the direct subtype. You can see it mentioned here, it's a possible direct subtype, not the indirect subtype. So what does the indirect subtype means is, if we go and copy this one from here, and let's say this is of the GOLD goldfish, and we will extend it from the our indirect subtype that is of the another child that is of the fish. So here we have the fish that is extending from the sealed animal, and we have the goldfish that is extending from the fish again. So this is the indirect subtype, or the goldfish is an indirect subtype. And once we go over here, and if we add in the fish here, we can see that the switch doesn't give us any compile time error over here. That's because what we have over here is we have the indirect subtype, which is of the fish. It's not the actual direct subtype of the sealed class. So you can see that we don't get any error over here. So if you go back onto the top over here, so we have covered all of this over here, and as well as we know already that we have the compiler is aware of all of the possible direct subtype. That's why we get an error. And also that you can see that it cannot be constructed itself. So you will see that this particular sealed class cannot be constructed over here. Whether you go over here, and if I say a final, and I just say SEALED 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 animal over here, ANIMAL, that should be of the sealed 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 animal over here. If you try to construct it, you get an error over here. This cannot be instantiated. So you cannot create a new instance of the sealed class. And if you try to go and do the same thing out of this particular library, it's the same thing. So let's go and have the new instance over here. You will get the same error over here, the abstract class. So now you see the error is the abstract class can't be instantiated. Why that is abstract class? If you go over here, we have created a sealed class, but it's mentioning as a abstract class. That's because if you go over here and read the documentation, you will see that the subtype of the shield class, however, are not implicitly abstract, but shield class are implicitly of the abstract, which basically means once you say that is shield class, this basically means that your shield animal now is also implicitly abstract. So which gives us the another possibility over here to have the void, and let's say a can walk walk over here. So now you can also have the abstract function over here. So this is the another point which we need to note. The shield class is implicitly an abstract, so which means that we can use all of the functionality of the abstract. That's why we can't also instantiate it over here. So we cannot create a new instance of this particular shield class over here. So when it is actually useful is that when you want to have an enumerable type set of the subtype, which basically means that you want to use it in the switch case over here. That is what we have used over here. So in this case, you want to prefer a shield class instead of the abstract class. Previously we used to use abstract class, but now the Dart tree has the much more better option, which is to use a shield class over. So once we have the shield class, we usually don't have all of this functionality over here, so we can just remove this one over here. So shield class doesn't need to have all of these functions. So if you have all of this functionality, better you choose whether abstract or the interface or the abstract interface over here. That will be much better option. But for the with the shield class, we prefer to use as the enumeration type over here. If you go over here, so we will use an enumerable type over here, and that is to use it with the switch case over here. And then the another thing is that you can have the factory constructor over here, and which basically is that if you go over to the shield class, so let's go and create the factory constructor over here. That will be of the factory and then the shield animal over here. And from here, what you can do is you can just go and return. Let's say we want to return the subtype of the cat over here. So let's go and return the cat from here. So this is another way you can create the factory constructor over here. So they can have a factory constructor over here, but they cannot construct for themselves over here. And once you set the factory constructor over here, the subclass over here or the subtype also need to have the factory constructor over here. So what we need to do is we don't want to have this also over here, so let's just comment it out. For now we just are interested with the switch over here, that is to have the switch case over here for the cat, dog and the fish over here. And another thing is, if you go back to our shield animal over here, if you want to make this one as the abstract over here, abstract abstract class over here, and if you go to the main over here, now you can see that we get and the shield animal is not exclusively matched with the switch case. Since it doesn't match with the shield animal, try adding the wildcard. So now we get some errors over here once we change that of the shield to the abstract over here. And now we see we get a switch error over here. And now let us try to fix this particular error. So what we have to do over here is we have to do underscore, and we'll return the SOM, it is something went WRONG wrong over here, or some error message once it doesn't match over here. And now even if you don't have this particular fish over here, the compiler is happy enough and it doesn't give you any warning or the error over here. So that is the thing that you have to use. So if you are using the abstract, you can replace now with the shield class. So previously we used to use abstract, but now you can replace that with the SEALE, the shield class over here. And now if you go back over here, now you can add this one over here as well, and now you don't have to add this over here. So you can just remove the default property. So once it is not matched, it's going to return that one over here, and if you have that, it's going to give you some the case is covered by the previous case, and try removing this particular case over here. So let's try to comment out this one and as well as of this one, and now you get that particular error that we have in the compiler over here. So that's cool, and I hope you enjoyed this lecture and learned something new over here. So let's meet up in the next lecture. Till then, have a great day.